Sorry, I had to take a selfie for Snapchat. Anyways, what's good? How you doing? It's your girl D, back with another video. We are going to be reviewing the Urban Decay Moondust palette, as well as the new Urban Decay All-Nighter Liquid Foundation. And so I whipped something together with those items, also featuring my new e.l.f. Eyes, Lips, Face cosmetic, my new brush set. Put it to use. Don't mind the little plastic things falling out. I just kind of threw shit back in there because I needed to clean. Anyways, so if you want to see how I threw this, I don't want to call it a masterpiece. If I just threw this little ragtag face together, you know, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Alright. So I really wanted to just focus on the application and the look of the foundation. I also wanted to highlight these nice little e.l.f. brushes too. They came in pretty handy actually. This is their powder brush. Even though it actually has a flat top, it has the ability to be used for application of liquid, cream, or powder foundation too. And one of the things that I noticed, and you can see right here, is that it goes on pretty bright, almost a little bit more, I thought red at first, but it seems to have more golden undertones. And you can notice after we do the application, you can see after the color has set in place that it seems to settle and blend well. And at first I thought it ran red, but it looks more golden, just depending upon the angle and the position of my face with the lighting as well too. But I have to say, this is indeed a full coverage foundation. A little goes a long way. I actually had pumped just a bit too much, so I still had to go ahead and use it all up. But I want you guys to go ahead and just look at the level of coverage with this foundation too. This is some heavy duty stuff, and even though it is full coverage, it's not super heavy gooey. It's not as thick such as maybe Kat Von D's Lock-It foundation, but it definitely does blur my imperfections, and you'll see as I hit this pose here pretty soon that actually it evened out very well, and it did cover quite a bit. Also off video, I did my contouring, eyeliner, because I wanted to just focus primarily on the application of the foundation. So you're not gonna see the full face application. I was already primed and had my brows done before I started the application, or before I started filming. Sorry. But again, not bad. As you see, I zoom back a little bit out of the light, how with the lighting change it seemed to be good. So what do you guys think? It covered pretty well, didn't it? Next up, again off video, getting eyes taken care of. You want to have some kind of base with this eyeshadow. This is some stuff that it took me a while to get the hang of the formula of these eyeshadows. I'm using my Too Faced Shadow Insurance right now. And then because I hate just applying some type of eyeshadow without a transition color so that it's not going all the way up to my eyebrow, I actually do wind up using some of my MAC foundation as well, or not MAC foundation, but my MAC eyeshadow too, just to help give it that nice good base up at the crease color. But I'm thinking at second glance that maybe using a white base might help the colors to pop a little bit. When I film another tutorial, I'm gonna try that method. So what I wound up doing is applying with just the basic brush, and rather than sweeping it onto my eyelid, I went ahead and patted and patty cake bakers, man. I went ahead and patted in place. Because again, since it has that heavy fallout, I wanted to go ahead and make sure that the application was alright. And, you know, the application was good and deliberate. Now I am going in, the first color was Element, the second color is, it looks like Spectre. I'm hoping I'm reading that right. It's very late, I apologize. Taking Spectre and moving that, or applying that on the innermost section of the eyelid. Yep, that is Spectre, which is the innermost corner, that light pink, and then Element, which is the kind of translucent orange. I blended both of those together. Now I'm actually taking my Wet n Wild Photo finishing spray and applying that onto the brush, just one very light spray, and applying a little bit more of the Element color to help intensify the color payoff. Apparently there's sirens going. I don't know if you hear them. I am innocent, I swear. Now we're just going over, making sure that everything is nice and even. You'll notice at this part, I just went straight from foundation to eyes. Normally I would have set the foundation, but again, I wanted to give it time to actually oxidize a little bit and be in place. The last color that I am using is Magnetic, which is that purplish color. According to the website, Magnetic is purple with a blue sparkle. Element is peach with a pink shift and sparkle, and Spectre is a soft pink with a tonal sparkle. We're using the e.l.f. small detail brush and applying this on the bottom lid, right there below the lash line, just to help be a little extra. I don't know. Again, it's so hard working with these colors and just the formula because there is so much fallout. And it actually states, and I'll go over this in the video later, it actually states that these colors should be applied with your finger. I got fat fingers. Anybody got time for that? I'm not trying to jab myself in the eye. I'm using the e.l.f. concealer brush to blend in my Born This Way concealer. So now I'm going ahead and setting the foundation. And these e.l.f. brushes, actually, for being only the $30 set, they are very high quality. Going back in again with the powder brush, even though I just applied the foundation with it, it did not absorb any kind of product. So I went ahead and I'm using my actual Old But Faithful Sacha Buttercup, and I'm actually buffing it into the skin. Not necessarily baking, but buffing it enough to where we've got that good absorption. And you're going to see here in the jump that we just go ahead and dust it right back off. But are we blended though? Are we blended? Son, are we blended? No, but for real, are we? And now I'm taking the blush brush from that set, and this was a City Color shade of a blush that I used. I just picked this up actually at 5 and Below, and it came out to be more of like a pink highlight than anything else. So I did wind up softening it a little bit with some Urban Decay bronzer, as well as my Ulta contour kit. This is the bronzer that I was referring to. And I like using this bronzer as somewhat of a finishing powder, just to go ahead and set everything all over. So, finished look coming up next.
Anyhow, so I have to say the Moondust palette, at first glance and a little bit of the hype behind it, sorry, it's past my bedtime. At first glance, the colors seem to have some potential, you know. And it says these ultra sophisticated shadows contain microfine bits of iridescent sparkle and lush 3D metallics for an effect that's out of this world. We recommend applying Moondust with your fingers. I guess I should have, you know, I paid attention to that. For intense payout, apply it wet and blend out the edges with a dry brush. I have, initially when I tested this on Facebook Live, I tested it with Wet n Wild setting spray, some Evian facial spray, and then MAC Fix Plus. And the Fix Plus seemed to work the best with trying to get better color payoff. But I went ahead and just used a very small amount of the Wet n Wild today. And I felt that it was okay. You know, it's not. This palette is one of those where it's a little difficult to go ahead and manipulate the shades just on their own. Like, okay, let me go ahead, put some on my pinky. Okay. We're not making a difference. We already there. Still on my pinky though, but you know, whatever. Alright, color got brighter. And applying again the Spectre color, which is what I used in the innermost part. I don't see a difference between the brush and the your finger application. I like the brush because it's more precise anyways, but you know, be that as it may, you know, there are no actual rhyme or reason or rules to applying eyeshadow. It's up to that individual and what it is that they want to do with that particular color or shape. So now I'm not gonna knock this palette. You know, it does have a lot of potential and a great uses too. I think that this palette would be used better than actual loose pigment glitter in the place of, like, you know, maybe a cut crease or something like that, or a small glitter section of an eye color, something to that effect, to give it just that little extra pop. I think I definitely would like to incorporate this palette in these shades rather than actual loose pigment, because loose pigment or not loose pigment, but loose glitter can be a little bit more difficult to work with, and you have to have some type of glitter adhesive. This, because it's intended to be used as an eyeshadow as it is anyways, it has a little bit more versatility, and you don't necessarily need a adhesive, just maybe some Fix Plus, some water or something like that to go ahead and intensify the payoff. We should count how many times I've yawned in a video. Anyways, so other than that, this palette, I do not enjoy this palette as much as I've enjoyed the Naked series or Vice Reloaded or the Spectrum palette. But also, I'm still gonna keep it. I'm still gonna find some kind of use for it. So definitely, and this is just, like I said, this look I just put together. It's 5 now. This is just a look I put together. The first time that I tried to use the palette, I used the purple and the green that were in there, but I wouldn't really recommend these bright shiny shades for daytime wear unless you're about that life. And then if you're about that life, get it, boo. Other than that, you know, I'd say like maybe a good solid 8 out of 10 I would rate this palette. Now the foundation, was a little tricky at first, and I have to say, the closer I get to the light, the more it seems to be running red. I don't know. Before I bought this, I made sure, because it at the time that I ordered it, it wasn't in stores yet, so I didn't know if I could do swatches. But I actually hit up Urban Decay's customer service, and they confirmed that the shade range on the All Nighter liquid foundation is exactly the same as the shade range on the Naked Skin foundation. So I am the deepest shade in both, the number 12, which is one of their new expanded shades, or new parts of the shade range. Six times evian now, okay. And so when I first put it on, it ran really red, and I was afraid, well, I have so many foundations. Why did I buy this? I buy it based upon the Naked Skin. What was I thinking? Bloody blase, boop, boop. But after making sure that it was blended in very well and letting it oxidize a little bit, it's not that bad. Like, you can definitely see where it ends and begins, where I blended it down. But also, it's summer. Seven. Also, it is summertime, and I have some serious hyperpigmentation and some breakouts and some other issues going on, like been in the sun, so my skin complexion is all over the place anyways. But I do remember that when I first bought the Naked, that I swatched it in store. It blended well in store, but I also bought this several months ago too. So my skin complexion has changed. It's the middle of, well, actually not even the middle of, we almost in August, son. Whoa. We still recording? Okay, we still recording. So be that as it may, I like this foundation. It was straight matte. The second that I finished putting it on, all matte. It didn't, it does oxidize, but again, I haven't seen any kind of oil breakthrough yet. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try tomorrow, as well, so I can follow up in the comment section and let you know how it was wearing it an actual full day in the July heat in Kansas City. So you can know if it's worth your while. But it states on here that this is full coverage, it is long wear, it has the matte finish, it's waterproof, and it's freaking oil free, which is everything that I need in a foundation, considering that I grease up like church's freaking chicken. Ultimate foundation for a flawless looking complexion. This waterproof formula provides complete coverage that lasts all day or all night, because Urban Decay is nasty, with a modern matte finish that never looks overdone. Achieve a blown out effect you never thought possible for skin that looks amazing and stays that way. Perfect for all night affairs and other scandalous activities. Look, Urban Decay, you don't know my wife. You don't know what kind of hoe I'm trying to be this summer. Let's see, this revolutionary formula is also comfortable enough to wear every day. We loaded this full coverage foundation with such an insane amount of pigment that a little goes a long way, and there's no need to build your coverage or apply multiple layers. And that was a mistake I made. I pumped a little bit too much and just had to use all of it. Light diffusing pigments blur flaws for beautifully perfected skin, while high-tech ingredients mattify and absorb oil to reduce the appearance of shine. Choose from a wide range of meticulously calibrated shades for your most perfected complexion. Shake well, then buff with one of our Urban Decay Pro foundation brushes. Ain't nobody got time to buy y'all's brushes. Do you see these brushes though? No? Okay, alright. So overall, I do like this foundation, because again, we greasy, and if it can help us to not be greasy, god damn it, we are going to support this. So this retails for $40, and I believe this retails for $49. I will have prices in the comments section. Speaking of comment section, If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in that little comment section. As always, I greatly appreciate your love and support. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and viewing my videos as I ramble on and play with makeup and other things and shenanigans. That sounds inappropriate. I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, so if you need anything else, let me know. Until next time, see you in the next video.